So somebody that's been criticized for MLM type schemes is Andrew Tate.
Yeah.
Somebody that I'm very likely to talk with. So for
Sure.
people who have been telling me that I'm too afraid to talk to Andrew Tate, first of all, let me just say, I'm not afraid to talk to anyone. It's just that certain people require preparation, and you have to like allocate your life in such a way that you want to prepare properly for them.
Sure.
And so you have to kind of think who you want to prepare for. Because I have other folks that have more power than this particular figure that I'm preparing for. So you have to make sure you allocate your time wisely. But I do think he's a very influential person that raises questions of what it means to be a man in the 21st century. And that's a very important and interesting question because young people look up to philosophers, to influencers about what it means to be a man. They look up to Jordan Peterson. They look up to Andrew Tate. They looked up to others, to other figures. I think it's important to talk about that, to think, what does it mean to be a good man in the society? Of course, in the other gender, there's the same question. What does it mean to be a good woman? I think, obviously, the bigger question is, what does it mean to be a good person? But
Lex Fridman podcast.
I swear to God. Did now interrupt. Okay. So on that said, one aspect of the criticism that Andrew's received is not just on the misogyny, is on the MLM aspect of the multi-level marketing schemes they did. So is there some truth to that? Is there some fraudulent aspect to that?
So yeah, I definitely think so. I mean, that's the main reason I criticized him. So let's back up. There's a few clarifications I need to make. Mm-hmm. What Andrew Tate is selling is not multi-level marketing, although he is selling the dream. He's selling an affiliate marketing thing, which is slightly different. Mm-hmm. So in multi-level marketing, if I sell to you and then you go sell to two other people, I make money from those two other people down the chain, multi-level. Affiliate marketing is sort of like one level. I only make money. So Andrew Tate had this affiliate program where if you sold Hustlers University to somebody else, which sounds like something boomers would put on Facebook in like 2010, like I went to Hustlers University, School of Hard Knocks.
By the way, you were a member of Hustlers University. So
yeah, I joined. I became a hustler. That's in large part due to why I'm so successful is because of my Hustler University membership. I'm just kidding. But so it's an affiliate program. So you'd sell, like I sell to you this $50 course and I make like $5, and Andrew Tate in perpetuity makes $50 a month off of you. Mm-hmm. Okay. What does this course actually sell, right? Because ultimately he's selling the dream. He's selling, hey, the Matrix has enslaved you. He's really gone down this like Neo rabbit hole. So the Matrix has enslaved you. Your life is controlled by these people who want to keep you like kind of weak, lazy, whatever. You need to break out and you need to achieve the new dream, which is sort of like hustling your way to the top. You don't need the antiquated systems of school. You can just pay me $50 a month and I will teach you everything. Okay. So what do you actually get? Well, and why is it a scam? So I think it's just a scam in terms of like value and like you're selling based on these completely unrealistic things. He's like, let's get rich. Okay. You get a series of Discord rooms. Do you know what Discord? Most people know what Discord is. It's like a bunch of, chat rooms basically, right?
Mm-hmm. So it's like AOL, or is it like...
Yeah, right. Well, I'm talking to the guy who quit Emacs, so I don't know. There's Discord servers, and in these, like, there's 7 different rooms you can go in, or there's several rooms, and each one is like a different field of making money.
Yes.
E-commerce, trading, cryptocurrency, I think fulfillment by Amazon, like copywriting. Okay, so I went to all of these. I checked them out. I checked all their money-making tools. The first funny thing is that Andrew Tate is nowhere to be found. The supposed successful guy that you like bought into is nowhere to be found. It's these professors that you have now, he has hired and said, these guys are super qualified. So like looked up some of what some of these guys have done. And some of them have launched like scammy crypto coins. The cryptocurrency professor was like shilling a bunch of coins that did bad and then like deleted the tweets. I mean, just completely exactly what you'd expect. Behind the paywall, it's nothing of substance. You're not going to learn to get rich by escaping the matrix and going to work for Jeff Bezos. Fulfillment by Amazon is not escaping the matrix, right? Like that's not the way to hustle to the top. It's literally a field of making money that everyone in the world has access to. If you want to differentiate yourself and make money, the first thing you realize is going into skill sets that literally anyone with an internet account can do is a bad way to do that, because you have to have some differentiating factor to add value. So it's just such a obvious and complete scam, because there is no value to this like so-called education. The professors are crap. The advice, they're like hiding some of the bad things they've done. And Andrew Tate's nowhere to be found. Ultimately, that's why everyone joins. What he's done is very interesting because, and I'll give him credit in his marketing, he's been very savvy to like make the reasons you admire him not the thing he's sort of selling, which is weird. Like he's selling get rich quick, which seems like it relates to his persona, but is actually very orthogonal to it. His persona is like the tell it how it is, like tall, buff, rich guy. It's like actually his persona that you're buying into. And then he's selling you this thing to the side, which when people get in there and they're not delivered on the product, he still is those things that you first thought he was. So it's like, I think it's to some extent, he's made a lot of money by making the thing that he makes money on not the thing he gets so much pushback online for and what he's also loved for. So people will push back for his misogyny, but the real way he's making money is just like basic get rich quick schemes that are super obvious to spot, but everyone's distracted by like, oh, he said some crazy stuff about women, or, you know, all these various other scandals he's gotten himself in.
To get more and more and more attention. So
Right.
with the persona, is the Hustler University still operating?
I think they've rebranded it. I'm part of their pitch now. I'm like, they put me on as like, as like, the Matrix is trying to take us out, Lex. And then it's me saying like, you know, they put me in like saying, I'm part of the Matrix. They put me in saying, oh, this guy sucks. You know, I joined, it sucks. And so they'll play that and they do like a bass drop and it's like, you know, don't listen to people like this. Da, 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 da. I mean, I'm basically like a.
Oh, so you've been co-opted by the Matrix to attack.
Yes.
You're an insider threat that infiltrated
Right.
and now is being used by the Matrix to attack him. Well,
everyone who criticizes him is part of the Matrix. He won't say who the Matrix is. It's just the shadowy cabal of rich, powerful people. It's just like the easy narrative for people who are disaffected and who feel cheated by the system. You just collectivize that system and you make it the bad guy. And you go, look, those guys who have been cheating you, they're the bad guys. They want me shut up. And then now the person that the people who harmed you, they want this guy shut up. You're going to listen to him. So that's like, it's like the most basic psychological manipulation that everyone seems to constantly fall for. It's really trivial and stupid, but.
Can you steelman the case for Hustlers University where it's actually giving young people confidence, teaching them valuable lessons about like actually incentivizing them to do something like Fulfillment by Amazon, the basic thing, to try it,
sure,
to learn about it, to fail, or maybe see like to try, to give a catalyst and incentive to try these things.
As much as it pains me, I will try to give a succinct, maybe steelman of it as best as I can, thinking that it's such a grift. But I think what you would say is that some people, in order to make a change in their life, need someone who they can look up to. And men don't have a lot of like strong role models, like big male presences in their life who can serve as a proper example. So the most charitable interpretation would be Andrew Tate would encourage you to go reach for the stars, I guess. My problem is I have a deep issue with the like lust and greed that centers all these things. It's like this glorification of wealth equals status, wealth equals good person, wealth and Bugatti equals you are meaningful, you matter. And like the dark underlying thing is that none of that matters. Like it matters that you make a decent living, but past just like that, I think the like lust for more stuff and the idolization of these people that is just like opulence is a net bad. So that's like my steel man has to stop there because
Yeah.
I really disagree with like the values that are pushed by people like that.
Yeah, no, I agree. That's the thing that should be criticized. I shouldn't say it doesn't matter. I think it's just like an amazing meal at a great restaurant. It matters. It's money and Bugattis for many people make life beautiful. Like those are all components, but I think money isn't you can also enjoy a beautiful life on a hike in nature. You can there's a lot of ways to enjoy life. And one of the deepest that's been tested through time is the intimacy, close connection, friendship with other people or with a loved one. They don't talk about like love.
Yeah,
Like what it means to be deeply connected with another person. It's just like get women, get money, all those kinds of things. But that I think I don't want to dismiss that because there's like value in that. There's fun in that. I think the positive. I haven't investigated Hustlers University, but the positive I see in general is young people don't get much respect from society. Now it's easy to call it the Matrix and so on, but there's a kind of dismissal and of them as human beings, as capable of contributing, of doing anything special. And then you have young people who are sitting there broke, with big dreams. They need the mentors. They need somebody to inspire them. And so, like, I would criticize the flawed nature of the message.
Sure.
But also, it's just like you have to realize, like, there needs to be institutions or people or influencers that help, like, inspire, right?
The problem is, though, is the people who are pitching unrealistic versions of that are getting a lot of attention. Whereas, like, there's so many great free courses where you can learn everything and more about fulfillment by Amazon or about copywriting or all these different things that I think like so often the oxygen is sucked up by all the grifters who promise everything. It's back to what we said about vaporware. This is one of the reasons that like educational products can so often be co-opted by grifters is vaporware is very hard to distinguish because like the feedback loop on education is not clear. It's not obvious immediately. So I can sell you a book and I can say, this is going to change your life if you apply it. If you don't, if your life doesn't change, I just say, well, you didn't apply it, right? Like there's this weird relationship. It's not clear the value. It's not so easy to like quantify education. So that gets co-opted by people who make all the promises. They get a ton of attention, a ton of money. And then those people are often left confused and like kind of disillusioned, maybe thinking, well, this didn't work in 1 year, so it's not going to work at all. Yeah. And so I think, there are problems there. There's certainly a need for like male role models. There's certainly a need for somebody kind of to speak to a younger generation. I just think that person shouldn't be maybe Andrew Tate, like personally.
Yeah. So you have to criticize those particular individuals. I
think the Bugatti aspiration is so stupid. Like it's so.
Well, let me steal, man. So I'm a person who doesn't care about money, don't like money. The women maybe appreciate the sort of the beauty of the other sex, but like,
sure.
Cars in particular is like, really, is this really the manifestation of all the highest accomplishments a human being can have in life? Yes, I can criticize all that, but to steel man that case is a young person, a dreamer, has ambition. And I often find that education, throughout my whole life, there's been people who love me, teachers who saw ambition in me and tried to reason with me that my ambition is not justified. Yes. Looking at the data, look, kid, you're not that special.
Yeah.
Look at the data.
Right.
You're not, and they want it, dude, they want you to like not dream, essentially. And then again, I look at the data, which is all the people. I just talked to Roger Gracie. This Roger Gracie is a jiu-jitsu person, widely acknowledged as probably the greatest of all time, dominated everybody. But for the longest time, he sucked. And he was surrounded by people that kind of, don't necessarily believe in him. So he had to believe in himself. So you have to, it's nice to have somebody. As older I get and I've seen it, it's so powerful to have somebody who comes to you, an older person, whether it's real or not, that says you got this, kid.
Believes in you.
I
Sure.
believe in you.
Sure.
You know?
It does. I mean, I think dreaming is actually really important. I'm more protective over people co-opt those dreams for money.
Yes.
And like,
absolutely.
I do think it matters so much that we encourage people to take risks. It's one of the great things about America is it lionizes like sort of people who have taken risks and won. But I think it's just a weird, vapid thing when like the reason you do all of it is for this thing you can get out at the end of the day. When we all know, and you've just heard a million interviews, like nobody ever gets the Bugatti and goes, this now completely fulfills me. Everyone knows the beauty and the like fulfillment actually comes from becoming obsessed about what you're doing for its own sake, sort of the journey, the beauty of that thing. And I think money's just this thing we have to deal with to be able to do cool stuff. Like I acknowledge that, you need money to build the $10 million studio. You got to get the cameras, you got to get the lights. And I'm very blessed to be able to have gotten that. Mm-hmm. But past a certain point, like I think that is really the function of money, is to just do cool stuff. But ultimately, if you can't fall in love with the process and like the craft itself, you will be left very unhappy at the end of it. And so to start people off on that journey by pointing to the shiny object and going like, that's what you should care about, seems to me so backwards. We should learn from the actual people who have done it and said, that shiny thing did nothing for me. Learn to love the journey. And like, that's the thing we pitch people, as unsexy as that might be.
Yeah, absolutely. That's well said. And the same applies to like the red pill community that talks about dating and so on, that there is, it's not just about the number of hot women you go to bed with. It's also about intimacy and love and all those kinds of things. And so like there's components to a fulfilling life that is important to sort of educate young people about.
Totally.
But at the same time, feeding the dream and saying, take big risks.
Sure.
And you, the little you that has no evidence of ever being great, can be great, because there's evidence time and time again of people that come from very humble beginnings and doing incredible things that change the world.
Yeah. And there's just a tremendous, like, funny thing where you can't become great without having a willful denial of the statistics. Like, in some ways, you have to take the chance, even if that chance is so improbable. And it's always those people who did take that chance who end up winning. So I agree.